If you want to build a unique gaming computer, well, this is the right video for you, because today I'm using some hardware which honestly I've never seen anywhere else. And I've also made quite a few interesting choices in terms of the actual mainstream component build as well. So welcome back at NGDP PCs, and here we are with a mid to high range game PC with current pricing probably more on the higher side, unfortunately, but still very good value, which every single one of you guys can copy easily. Now, a PC like this is gonna serve you very well for 1440p high refresh rate gaming, but not only that, this is also gonna be a productivity beast, able to do video editing, photo editing, streaming, and literally whatever you throw at it without getting into the overkill high-end territory. And the most interesting part, I'm using components for a brand which I'm sure 90% of you guys have never heard before, and that is First Player. This case, this cooler, this power supply, they're all First Player components. Enough with the introduction, and let's actually start with the component list. Now, at the core of this build, I decided to go with Intel, with a Core Ultra 7 265K. And don't call me a fanboy, because I've also gone with AMD for the GPU, getting the AMD RX 9070 XT. Now, why is that? Well, at the time of recording, the refresh for the Intel Core Ultra CPUs is right on the edge of coming out, and those are actually quite good. So I think you guys should get one of them if you can buy them for a decent price. Don't overpay for them, but if they're in stock, you can get one for the right price. They are pretty good. However, that doesn't mean you should overspend on a motherboard. And what I got here today is a locked B860 Pro RS motherboard from ASRock, which is still gonna be able to do exactly everything you need, and which is also still gonna allow you to undervolt and even slightly overclock via turbo boost, unlocking those Intel CPUs. And that's what you want for the extra performance. Another key point in terms of performance for any LGA 1851 CPU is RAM. Those CPUs, basically, they got bad reviews at launch because the BIOS was very much behind what it should have been. The microcode was not there, the NGU and D2D settings were off, but also because people have not been testing it with the right RAM. Now, ideally, you want 8000 MHz RAM on this platform, but nowadays, that's kind of tricky to get. So I got here a brand new kit of Patriot Viper Elite 5 Ultra RGB RAM, 32 gigabytes at 6000 MHz CL30, so with a very good latency, which, as you can see, even have on the box the Intel Core Ultra compatible, and those are very good. Also, if you want to do some extra tuning, some overclocking, as I show in my guides. As you know, this channel is mostly about tuning and getting more performance out of your hardware. To get which, you need a good cooler. Now, this cooler is definitely way too good for this CPU at stock. At stock, little spoiler, I'm gonna show you first of all the CPU-Z score of this thing, because it was going very fast. And then right after, I'm also gonna show you the Firestrike score. Now check out how good this thing is, okay? Memorize it, look how far we are for the median for this kind of auto configuration, and now check out the temperature in hardware monitor. The CPU hit a maximum of 60 degrees. 60 degrees with the stock fan curve. This thing is cold. That's why you need to undervolt your stuff, and that's why I do videos about it. It's all thanks to the First Player X-Starship 360 water cooler. Now this thing is a premium product. The common thing with those First Player products is they are currently very cheap. I think they're gonna go up in price as they get more mainstream. It's the good thing about discovering a niche brand is the products are still cheap, but then after a while they're gonna go up for sure. But currently this is very cheap and very, very premium. It reminds me of some Valkyria products, which I've covered on the channel a lot. The screws are tightly organized, the box is very premium, it opens in a very satisfying way, the cooler is pre-mounted with the fans pre-mounted, there is no daisy chain, there is a single cable with 4-pin PWM and 3-pin RGB cable coming out of the only one, there is a pump cable and then a USB cable to control the integrated RGB screen over the pump. Pump, which has one of the best designs I've seen. They really went overboard. They spent quite a bit of money to do this. If a main brand was doing this, they would charge probably 50 bucks extra just for what is done around the pump. People always try to make it as minimal as possible. This one is a little bit more aggressive, but I absolutely love it. The fans also have quite the unique infinity mirror look to them. I really haven't seen any of those yet. And you can install everything in about 5 minutes. Only ones are very easy to put together. Now, just as cool, or maybe even cooler, is the case, and it's the First Player IF8. It's a full-size ATX case, coming in right over the 100 bucks price point, with 4 included RGB ring fans and infinity mirror glass on all three sides. Now this, for the 2 people of you who have been watching me since 2021, is a mod which I used to do on my PCs a while back. And it certainly didn't look this good, but I thought it was super cool at the time, so I am a massive fan of this design. I think it looks amazing because if you have RGB inside of it, it glows through and it's no longer mirrored. There is a slight reflection to it, but it's not mirrored. If you turn the PC off, then it's just a full mirror and it's very cool. I think something like this is gonna fit very well in a minimal setup. Since it also has those black accents on the edges, I think even in a black and white setup, but also in a fully white setup, I think this thing's gonna look stunning, but also in a full black one. That's how versatile I see it. I think even here with this wooden background, it looks very cool. Cable management is also very easy, and all the fans inside are 3-pin compatible with no proprietary connectors, already daisy chained for you, and it literally takes 5 minutes to install. Another very positive part is how much space there is from the only one to the motherboard while still looking nice, because very often with these cases I end up having 0 space to work with, so you have to really think about your build order and what's going in before what. But here you just plug everything in and everything works, and that's why I'm recommending it. Now, even though I talked so well about the PC so far, possibly my favorite part is the power supply. This is also how I discovered the brand to begin with, because I saw their platinum version, which I had on the channel a while back, and now they are finally getting into the Western market with their other components. I guess they figured out shipping or something like that. At the time they only had this power supply, but they had them in the platinum version. I tried it out, it was amazing. This one is the gold version. It's basically the same, but just to recap for you, it's a fully modular 1000 watt 80 plus gold PSU with pre-sleeved cables inside of it, with also included comms. Now the comms, they're not the best, okay? They can do a little bit better there. Also the sleeves, they can do a little bit better, but if you don't put the comms, I think it looks very clean. And also I love the accessories, the packaging, the way the manual is done. They even give you a little piece of paper where you can watch the full report that has been made on your specific power supply for the cybernetics certification. This is not only 80 plus certified, it's also cybernetics certified. And seeing how professional that is, I think they might take over 80 plus, which is crazy. It's a very solid unit, and the design close to the fan is so cool. I'm very sad I cannot see it. I kind of wish I was mounting this in an aquarium-like case where the power supply was facing directly at me, because it's really, really cool. I would love to see it every day in my build. Well, I love hardware, so mine may be a little biased opinion. But if you watch this channel, I know I'm rarely enthusiastic about hardware. I make a lot of negative reviews because they're not paying me, so I'm not biased. You know, not to diss anyone, but just saying. And those products, I love. I think you should buy them. I'll try to find them for sale and put links down below in the description. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, but if you find one of those and you type it on Google and end up on this video, yes, go ahead and buy them. They're very good. And also, don't be afraid of pairing Intel with an AMD GPU. Currently, I think it's the best value. You're probably wondering, if you're really paying attention and want to copy this build, what about the storage? Well, I mean, I went with this Samsung 990 EVO Plus, but it's the only one I could find 2TB Gen 4. So storage currently is tough. I don't really have a recommendation. My favorite drive is the Kingston MV3. If you guys can find one still, I think it's very good, but they're going out of stock. So for storage, I don't really have a solution right now. Just buy whatever you can find in your area. And with that said, we covered today's build. It's definitely unique. It's definitely something you don't really see often, but I want to hear if you guys agree or if you guys think there is something bad with it. Did you try some first player components? Did you try the first player NGDP PSU? Is there something you didn't like here, which you tried personally? If so, let me know down below. Even if you're watching this video in the future, I want this to be a community where we help each other out. And with that said, if you watched the video this far, drop a like and subscribe. You can also now become a member to support the channel. Give this video hype, and see you guys again. Bye bye. Have a good day.